Oh, great. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. A first, as I understand it, in Winchester High School history, I would like to introduce Ms. Deanna Della Chapa, please, to sing the national anthem. Deanna?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, yet proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Why don't you go ahead and be seated? I'm the Reverend George Waterbury, and I'm in your bulletin to offer a prayer of invocation at this point in time. Since the time I was asked and was glad to accept the invitation to do that, we've received word of a court ruling that says that religious people like myself cannot pray in your presence here this day. We do indeed live in a changing world into which you move. But I would like you to know, and I would like to take a moment just to say to you that the community that surrounds you this day, both the people that sit before you and the community stretching out behind you, is filled with people who, by whatever word they speak of that which they hold most sacred and true, wish for you this day a spirit of joy in your accomplishment and hope in your future. Have a great day. Thank you.
It's now my great privilege to introduce the president of the class of 1991, Mr. Jeffrey P. Rousseau. Jeff?
Good afternoon and welcome, friends, family, faculty members, and school committee members, to the graduation of the class of 1991. After listening to the weather for today, I realized it'd be a good day for a long speech, but to anybody else a pie this afternoon, I'll try to keep it under 2 hours. As I was preparing for the speech, I was thinking to myself, will this class be remembered? And for what? 5, 10, or maybe even 15 years down the road? After talking to some of our junior high teachers, other students, and some close friends of our class, I realized that yes, we will be remembered. This is because of our attitude, our commitment, and our achievements. The greatest thing I noticed about this class is our good attitude towards life. Other classes have had their own personalities, which carry with them cliques and divisions. In life, those cliques and divisions are unavoidable, but those groups in our class never look down on another group. We're fun and friendly and have always tried never to leave anyone out, even the underclassmen. Another characteristic is our class's commitment. We've shown it by our responsibility and our dedication. We've had to deal with new restrictions on holding class events that raise money for our class. For instance, nothing could be held on a Saturday night, which cut down on evening activities that could be held. Stricter guidelines were implemented about the number of chaperones, which was an event itself trying to get enough. Even when newspaper articles mentioned high school drinking problems, people agreed that there really wasn't a problem with our class. This is due to the fact our class acts responsibly. Unfortunately, we have seen what happens when people drink and drive, and this has taught us a very valuable, although solemn lesson about life. That lesson is not to take life for granted. Our class's dedication helped the football team to defeat Walpole for the Division II Super Bowl and to be ranked number 18th in the country. Dedication also helped the girls' soccer team to become number 1 in the country and win this state title. Our dedication was also evident with the wrestling team, who won the Middlesex League title. Commitment is not just the big event, but it is also small successes, like the hockey team improving the record every season, or the basketball team making it to the state tournament. Besides sports, there are all these students who went to these events. Your attention and support made our commitment worthwhile. These may just be words, but we're not like Willie Lomax in The Death of a Salesman. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. This leads me to our class's final distinction. It's our achievements. Not only did we make many great achievements in sports, but also in our academics and extracurricular activities. Some of us have been awarded for our outstanding excellence in academics. We have had a few students who have become Eagle Scouts, and other students who have spent many long hours rehearsing to put on fabulous musicals for the town. In addition, we had several classmates win state math competitions. We even had students who explored the lands of Spain, France, and Italy in foreign exchange programs. No matter what it was, our excellence was shown. But too often, some achievements are overlooked. Although not acknowledged, there are those students who have excelled just by getting B's and C's. After looking back at the 6 years we've been to school together, I honestly think I can say our class will be remembered. And as time judges us all, our successors will look back and say we have left our mark at the high school, and we're all one. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a pleasure now to invite you to listen to the program provided by the Winchester High School Band under the direction by Mrs. Priscilla Miller. Thank you, Ms. Miller and members of the band. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the person who will deliver today's senior address, and that is Mr. Michael J. Bett, the President of the Student Union. Mike?
Family, friends, faculty, fellow citizens, on behalf of the class of 1991, I welcome you to our graduation. As I stand here ready to address all of you, I can't help but think what the future holds in store for us. Perhaps there are things beyond our control, but for the most part, we control our own destiny. Our ability as to just how much of our future we will be able to control lies in the education we have received here at Winchester High School. For it was Plato who said, "The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life." High school has been a giant stepping stone. When you have successfully climbed that step, as we have formally done so today, a whole new world comes into view. It is no longer a sheltered world separated from the harsh realities of life. Some will choose to enter this world immediately, others will opt to further their education. From this class will emerge the future's doctors, lawyers, mechanics, and perhaps the president. But whatever we may choose to do in life, we are moving onwards. But we aren't moving on unprepared. On the contrary, the preparedness we have been getting these last 4 years serve as an assurance. The world holds many uncertainties, but we are entering it with foundations strong enough to withstand these uncertainties. Foundations built by all of you out there. And for that, on behalf of the class of 1991, I offer a sincere thanks to all of you. You have, in one way or another, contributed to our success, and before we depart, it is with good reason that we say thanks. Without your wisdom, the world we are about to enter would be quite unbearable. But not only do we thank you, but the people in front of me have also played an important role. A classmate of mine once said to me, "The better part of a man's life are his friends." This statement could not be more correct. Over the course of high school, many friends were made, friends young and old. I'm going to miss that camaraderie that made Winchester High such a special place. These friendships have enriched us and will always occupy a special place in our hearts. These last 4 years at high school have been an extraordinary experience. From our first day as a fear-filled freshman right on up to today, we have all benefited from our interactions. As we grew older and matured, we drew closer to one another. This created many wonderful memories that with time will fade, but will always be there for the rest of our days. And so it is with a great sigh that we leave behind the memories of Winchester High. But we do have a lot to look forward to, and believe it or not, the best is yet to come. And we do have a lot to be thankful for, and I especially would like to extend thanks to each and every classmate for their unique contribution to our development. We should be proud of what we have accomplished. There are few better grounds for celebration than for the reason we are gathered here today. So let us raise a toast to the community of people that joined us together and prepared us for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Lewis B. Thompson, the chairman of the Scholarship Committee of the Winchester Scholarship Foundation. Mr. Thompson.
Graduates, parents, and friends, some years ago, a number of Winchester citizens organized a group to coordinate the awarding of scholarships. They felt that a single body could best evaluate and fairly distribute funds to students in need of financial assistance to attend institutions of higher learning. This organization became the Winchester Scholarship Foundation. Since its inception, it has awarded well over $1 million and has helped hundreds of Winchester students continue their education. It is truly a community operation, as virtually all of the funds available come from Winchester residents, businesses, and civic organizations. Although we are not able to help all those who requested aid, this year we are pleased to award 18 scholarships to members of the senior class from both Winchester High School and the Northeast Metropolitan Regional Vocational School. I would like to extend my thanks to the other members of the Scholarship Committee, Carol Kent, Stephen Osborne, and Deborah Donahue, as well as Tony DiBiase, Grant Curtis, and John Ritchie. Thank you very much.
And now it's a privilege to introduce to you Mrs. Constance D. Pappas, who is the chairman of the Winchester School Committee. Mrs. Pappas.
Greetings, graduates. This is your day, and I bring you salutations and congratulations from the school committee. Welcome, parents, grandparents, honored guests, and a very special welcome today to Robert, to Bucket and Anthony, and all the other ABC alumni who are here today to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Winchester's A Better Chance program. For the parents and friends gathered here, let me put the accomplishments of these graduates in perspective. Can any of you honestly say that you've held the same job for 13 years, gotten a promotion every year, and never once accepted a paycheck for your work? Every graduate on this field can proudly make that claim. Graduates, you're a stellar group, well deserving of the promotion we're celebrating today, the 13th so far in your academic career. We applaud you, you and your generation. You've got style, lively, colorful, personal style. You've got your own dress, your own music, your own ideas, and your own language. And it's the last of these, your language, that gave me the inspiration for my message today. One of your phrases in particular fascinates me. I hear it and overhear it all the time, and every time I have to stop and applaud the wisdom of your words. We've all heard it. You've all said it to each other, to your brothers and sisters, and to your parents. Maybe most of all to your parents. That phrase is, get a life. So let me borrow your jargon for a moment and say to you, Winchester graduates, class of 1991, get a life. Get a life, your own life, custom designed by you, a life that's your personal masterpiece. And let me borrow another one of your phrases to expand that thought, get real. Don't fall into the yuppie trap of the 80s. The yuppies raced through college and on to fast-track careers. They had all the trappings, all the right stuff. They got jobs and hefty paychecks. They got condos and good seats in crowded restaurants. They got American Express gold cards and BMWs. But somewhere in the scramble, some of them forgot to get a life. A life, a real life, is more than a job and a paycheck. Even if you drive to that job in the hottest car in town, sit in a chrome and glass corner office, and come home to a drop-dead gorgeous partner. A real life means having family, friends, hobbies, interests, causes, and ideals. It means striking the right balance of people and purpose, passions and pursuits. There's no magic formula. Your life, the life you create, is uniquely yours. It's different from your parents' lives and different from your friends' lives, and it will be different from your children's lives. But for all those differences, there are certain key pieces that, fitted together, make a good life. For most of us, having a real life means having a family that's more than a group of people who share the same last name, the same ancestry, and a few awkward holiday dinners every year. Those people across the table, for better or for worse, are uniquely yours. They know you better than anybody else. They're the ones who cheer you when you succeed and who will support you when you're down. We all hear a lot about family values, usually at election time, and I'm the first to admit that it can get pretty corny. Families aren't perfect. They never were, and they never will be. There aren't many, if any, real-life families like the Cleavers and the Huxtables, but there are flawed but fabulous families, just like yours and mine. So remember that when your parents drive you nuts, when you feel like slugging your brother and strangling your sister, when you feel like there's no way you could possibly be related to these mutants, remember, they're your family, and they're part of your life forever. But family is only a part of a real life. Friends, all kinds of friends, are another big piece. Old friends, new friends, serious friends, pals and buddies, soulmates and playmates, you need them all. Look around you at your fellow graduates, your friends, and make a commitment right now to keep these friendships. It's easy to scatter after graduation, and scatter you will, to colleges and jobs and adventures that may take you across the country and around the world. But wherever you go, however exciting and exotic it becomes, a piece of your life, your real life, will always be right here in Winchester. Saving that piece means keeping the friendships that you have today. The medium of friendship may change. You may be exchanging faxes rather than notes in class, long-distance phone calls rather than long afternoons at C&G, but the bonds don't change. As long as you invest in these friendships, put in the time to revive them from time to time, one day you'll all hear yourselves saying, "Hey, Dean, Joe, Albie, Jen, Erin, Kelly, Brian, Pat, Hesham, Wes, Matt. Oh, we've been friends since way back at Winchester High School." So celebrate the years you've shared and the friends you have today. Add new ones, but keep these too. Treat them well, and you'll be rewarded. With these people, your family and your friends, you've got the foundation for a real life. Now think about the texture you want to add to that life. Think about your interests and your hobbies, and make sure you save time for all the things that fascinate you. If you love books, read. If you love music, listen. If you love to travel, go. If you love sports, play. If you love computers, hack. If you love gardens, dig. Whatever it is that you love to do, do it. Not because it's important or productive or profitable, but just because you love doing it. After all, it's your life. There's one more piece here, another piece that will make yours a real and rich life, and that involves giving back. I started out by saying get a life, but maybe I should have said get a life, get real, and then give some back. Like everything else, how you give back is a personal choice. There is no right way. For some of you, giving back may mean serving dinners at a homeless shelter or teaching people how to read. It may mean getting involved in politics, even running for school committee someday. It may mean recycling cans or planting trees or using a rain barrel to save water. It may mean walking 22 miles to feed the hungry or collecting clothes for the cyclone victims in Bangladesh or visiting AIDS patients. Giving back doesn't mean giving up your life. It means adding to your own life by doing whatever you can, whenever you can, to take care of our planet and its people. So graduates, my message is short. Get a life, get real, and then give some back. The words and the wisdom of those words are yours, and in your own inimitable style, with your own talents and your own choices, I'm sure you will apply them. Congratulations to all of you, and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Mrs. Pappas. And now it's a pleasure to introduce the superintendent of the Winchester Public Schools, Dr. Charles L. Mitsakos. Dr. Mitsakos.
It's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon and to share this milestone in your lives. It's an especially important day for the Mitsakos family as well, since my daughter Andrea is graduating from high school and her graduation ceremony started 10 minutes ago. So I'm sure you'll understand why I'll be leaving after I finish my remarks. As a father of a graduating senior, I have a special bond with each of you and with your parents. Let me begin by asking you a question. Where were you on September 6, 1978? Well, that's probably not a hard question to answer because that was the first day of school for most of you here in Winchester. 13 years since Jeff Russo walked into Ms. Dolan's kindergarten classroom at the Washington School. It was also 13 years since the day that Amy Poftak learned about all the words beginning with the letter A in Mrs. Atwood's kindergarten corner at Ambrose. Katie Fuller was going into her classroom in North Reading, and Michael Bett began his educational career here at St. Michael's. 1978, and September was a historic month, and 78 a historic year. But to build on some thoughts that Jeff shared with you earlier, starting in 1978, your class has distinguished itself in many ways and has helped shape the history of education in Winchester. Throughout your elementary and junior high school years, you outperformed your national and state counterparts on standardized achievement tests. You've been honored in many ways with national merit citations and with scholarships and other awards. Many of you received early admissions decisions from some of the most prestigious colleges and universities in the world. While 15 to 20% of your classmates are going on to entry-level positions in corporations and small businesses, about 80% of you are going on to higher education. But as a class, you remind me an awful lot of my own daughter, and about 3 characteristics that she has that I think that you really have. And those characteristics are caring, sharing, and daring. I believe you were indeed a class that cared. You've taken seriously the responsibility you have to one another, and you've heard your classmates talk about that. Your teachers have commented on the respect you've shown for each other in their classes. Your coaches have been impressed with the support that you've shown one another on your teams. You've been very responsible about substance abuse and drinking. Your prom, as you'll recall, just a week ago, drew a welcoming crowd of thousands in the parking lot here at Manchester Field. And then you went on and really conducted yourselves in ways that other classes can emulate in the years to come. The class of '91 is a class that cared. But your class is also a class that shared. Many of you have shared your time with preschoolers at the Lynch Nursery Program, as well as in the high school program for preschoolers. Some of you helped make quilts for AIDS babies in the Boston Children's Hospital Baby Clinic, or assisted in a soup kitchen in Lynn, served as candy stripers at Winchester Hospital, and played leadership roles with our drug and alcohol program in our elementary and junior high school, or middle school, and assisted your own classmates in the drop-in room as peer counselors. And as Jeff also mentioned, that sharing has extended from Winchester to around the world in the travels that you've done in welcoming guests from France, Spain, and Germany. You also established a chapter of Amnesty International, as well as a reaction chapter to show your concern for human rights and the environment. The class of '91 is indeed a class that shared. But your class did more than just caring and sharing. It dared. Your classmates confronted challenges boldly and had the skill and courage to be successful against some great odds. Some kids were killed to get accepted at Harvard. But 4 of your classmates turned down their offers from Harvard to go to Stanford and Dartmouth. Our football scholar athletes went to Sullivan Stadium and the Division II Super Bowl as underdogs. But they showed a lot of guts and got a lot of glory. Walpole is still wondering what happened on that December morning. Our young women's soccer players were no different. They dared, and their skill and daring made them the #1 soccer team in the United States. In addition to team daring, there was also individual incredible performances in sports such as swimming and wrestling that garnered Middlesex League titles. Your class dared even in its selection of a spring musical, a show that some had said couldn't be done by a high school group. But you did it, and you had standing room only audiences for 3 nights. I could go on, because the class is a class that dared academically, athletically, and artistically. And your class, I will remember as one that cared, shared, and dared. My wish to you, however, as you move on, is the same that I shared with my daughter earlier today. And that is that you continue to have the sensitivity to care, the compassion to share, and the courage to dare. Congratulations and best wishes to all of you.
Dr. Mitsakos, thank you, and you have our permission to leave, and congratulations to your daughter. I don't know how many of you read the sports pages of the Boston Globe this morning, but I was surprised in reading these pages to read a comment made by our next speaker, and I will leave it to you to go back and search through the sports pages to see what he said. His name is Mr. Robert Fain. He graduated from Winchester High School in 1975, and the occasion for Mr. Fain's remarks today is the 20th anniversary of the ABC program in Winchester. I'd like to add my personal thanks to Mr. Robert Fain for coming up from New York to join us today, and also to everyone who has been involved in the ABC program, students, parents, and teachers, for it is certainly a program that has enriched Winchester High School over the years in immeasurable ways. Mr. Robert Fain.
Just so there's no misunderstanding, I'm not an athlete, and the reason I was quoted in the Boston Globe today is because I happen to be the president of a sports management company, and we represent several clients on the Patriots team, and one of my clients is unfortunately involved in a controversy that we tried to keep out of the Globe, but it ended up in the Globe in any event. But it is indeed a privilege for me to stand before you to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Winchester ABC program. I arrived in the second group of Winchester ABC students in 1973. And it seems like only yesterday that I was coming down Border Road as a 5'7", 120-pound junior with a deep Southern accent who had never been out of Memphis, Tennessee. I've grown a lot since 1973, physically, intellectually, and personally. It is difficult for me to believe that when I arrived in Winchester in 1973, the members of the class of 1991 either were not born or were recently born. I certainly don't feel that old, and I asked the class of 1991 if I looked that old. I trust the answer is no. In all seriousness, each of us who has had the opportunity to participate in the Winchester ABC program has been profoundly and irreparably affected by that experience. Over the past 20 years, the Winchester ABC program has produced 50 alumni. The number will grow to 51 when Ming receives his diploma. We are all productive members of society. Among the ranks of Winchester ABC alumni are a civil engineer, a doctor, a dentist, an architect, members of the business community, and individuals working in a range of other professions. The fact that the Winchester ABC program has flourished in the town of Winchester speaks volumes from my perspective about the generosity and humanity of the town of Winchester. I think the 20th anniversary of the Winchester ABC program is something that everyone in the town of Winchester can be proud of. So I say today to the Winchester community, thanks for the commitment and support that you have demonstrated in sustaining the ABC program over the past 20 years. I encourage you to continue to support the ABC program for as long as programs like ABC are required in order to create a more equitable society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fain. Now, if you, Robert, had not spilled the beans as to why you were in the Globe this morning, I was prepared to say that you had been signed by the Celtics as part of their program to add youth and speed to the team, but I guess I can't get away with that. I'd like now to introduce Lee Benke to make the presentation of the Peter Arnott Memorial Award. Lee? And Ms. Mary Frances Lanouette, I see, is joining her.
It gives us great pleasure today to award the first annual Peter Arnott Memorial Prize. The fund, started by members of the Classical Association of New England in memory of Peter Arnott, has grown quickly, and the fund is now an endowment fund, which will support a prize each year to the student from Winchester High School who best exemplifies Peter's love of the drama, culture, and language of the ancient world and his very high standards of scholarship. I'd like to recognize in the audience Mrs. Eva Arnott and her daughter Jenny, a current student at Winchester High School, who are here today to see the award be given. Eva has been very supportive in this effort to honor her much loved and much admired husband.
The student we honor today is the embodiment of the standards of excellence in scholarship and creative enthusiasm for which Professor Arnott was known and much respected. Our honoree is the persona, Latin word, of the type of student which this award will recognize each year. We are delighted to honor a dedicated and enthusiastic participant in musical and dramatic productions at Winchester High School, and what's near and dear to our hearts, an outstanding and devoted student of Latin. Would Elizabeth Hastings please come forward?
Thank you, Mrs. Benke, Ms. Lanouette, and congratulations, Lisa. Before I make my remarks, which I assure you will be very brief, I'd like to announce one other scholarship winner, and this is a first-time scholarship, which is made possible by Mr. Richard Feeney, representing the Winchester Men's Softball League, and co-sponsored by Mrs. Samuel Bellino. And this is the Samuel Bellino Scholarship, awarded for the first time this year in honor of Mr. Bellino, and given to a student who best exemplifies the characteristics which he lived in his life: commitment, excellence, loyalty, and enthusiasm. And the panel of administrators, counselors, and coaches reached a unanimous decision, and it's my great privilege to announce the first annual Samuel Bellino Scholarship Award to Bill Porter. Bill? Now, again, before making my remarks, it's tradition at Winchester High School to honor first the top 4 students, the top 2 men and the top 2 women in each graduating class. I'd like to call these names as a group and have you join me as a group. And before you do, let me express to you my own personal congratulations on your terrific accomplishment. Yuharn Didi Chen, William Lee, Amy Poftak, and Christina Van Aken. Will you come forward, please? Another award. Congratulations. Well done. Amy, great job. Congratulations. And Dee Dee. Thank you. Well done. Thanks very much. You may be seated.
Hi, I'm John London.
I'm Dale Smith.
And I'm Greg Moynihan. Join us Thursday nights at 7 right here for Sports View. We talk about everything in the world of sports, from the greatest games to the most obscure names.
Bernie Cabo.
A pinch hit home run in the World Series, you call that obscure? All right, who then? Bill Lee. Bill Lee, how's he obscure? He ran for president.
He gave up the biggest home run to Tony Perez, too, in that series.
He got traded for Stan Pappy. That's Sports View Thursday nights at 7 right here on TV 19.
Getting into drugs and being high is a stupid thing to do. But being in control and saying no is not the easiest thing to do. Being original and take a stand, you are free to say no. Don't let a friend push you in to taking drugs. You got a right to say no. Being original and take a stand, you are free to say no. Don't let a friend push you in to taking drugs.
You know, getting into drugs and being high is a real stupid thing to do. Being original and saying no to peer pressure. Saying no may be the smartest thing you ever do.
You got a right to say no. You got a right to say no, no.
Is to hand you your diplomas, certifying that you are, in fact, graduates of Winchester High School with all the rights and privileges appurtenant thereto. Just a couple of words before doing that. You are a terrific class, and it's been my great privilege to know you. I know that you have been proud for your sense of responsibility in school and in town, and this has not gone unnoticed. Our work at the high school has been to sustain an atmosphere where learning is revered, people and opinions are respected, hard work is encouraged, but joy and fun are possible, and also a place where dissent is valued rather than stifled. You have really, really helped in that endeavor, and I thank you sincerely. What's most memorable to me about this class, having been here 2 years, is that I've gotten to know so many of you as individuals. And that's been far more important to me than anything else. I celebrate you, obviously, as a class, but I celebrate each one of you as individuals for what you've added to the school and what you've added to my life. Now, a graduation speech is supposed to have some advice, but I've run out of advice. I have no more advice to give anyone on anything. So my goal is to come up with a speech that's short, that has no advice in it, and that is in a form that I would bet has never been used in a commencement address before. So here to you is a graduation rap song. dedicated to the fresh princes and princesses of Winchester. It's called the Graduation Rap, but the subtitle is 91s have arrived, they're all the way live. This may be the end of my career in Winchester, but here goes. From Laura Adizio to Mr. Ming Zhang, the class of 91 is an exceptional gang. Yeah, the Sachem homeboys and the homegirls too. It's hard to believe it, but you're almost all through. Ahead lie college, jobs, income tax, but chill right now, because you deserve to relax. You earned all the credits and you passed PE. Now's the time to let it be and take it easy. We tried to teach you how the world operates, instruct you in the theories and the most important dates. Did we succeed? Well, only you know for sure. The world needs your help in developing a cure for intolerance and hatred and insensitivity. We're counting on you. You can take it from me. Now, one last message, then I'm finished and through it. What's important isn't what you do, it's the way that you do it. It isn't what you do, but the way that you do it. Take a break. Thank you very much. And now, Mrs. Pappas, by the authority vested in me, by the Winchester School Committee and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I certify that these young men and women, having successfully completed the requirements of and met the high standards of Winchester High School, have now graduated from Winchester High School and are prepared and able to make the world a better place. Mr. Badravitz, I believe, will come forward to announce your names, and the first graduates should be prepared to come forward and accept your diplomas.
Right to the edge. Laura Ann Adizio. Michael Edward Alio. Hesham Hassan Ali. Jennifer Nicole Angelis. Elisa Marie Aswad. Pauline Bradshaw Barclay. Philip James Barlas. Paul G. Beauchamp. Lisa Marie Benincasa. Matthew Jason Benton. Amy Elizabeth Berry. Michael Joseph Bett. Michael Philip Bosco. Brittany Liam Boulanger. Joshua Fowler Briggs. Michael Britt. Catherine Suzanne Brophy. David Sanford Bryson Brown.
Rebecca Buck Browning. Shirley Ann Marie Kale. Kelly Ann Campbell. Kevin Michael Carroll. Rebecca A. Carthy. Nick Celeberti. Yuhan Chen. Maria Christofelis. Stephanie Christine Ciano. Jennifer Marie Clement. Darren Joseph Clemente. Amy Beth Coakley. Emily Susan Cook. Nathaniel M. Cooper. Brian G. Corkery. Diana Jean Coughlin. Stephen Joseph Crowley. Rebecca Jo Cullen. Douglas Carter Dam. Kimberly M. Davis. Michelle Catherine Davis. Arup D. Jennifer Delaney. Deanna Christine Della Chapa. Vincent Henry Del Pescio. Carla Yvonne DeVries. Kristen Kenneth Dieter. Christina Dennis. Kathleen Marie Doherty. Siobhan Doherty. Nicholas C. DeLong. Christopher J. Edmonds. Christopher Michael Elia. Matthew James Evans. Gretchen Ann Everhart. Michelle A. Farquharson. Christopher W. Fenderson. Stephen M. Ferrazani. Catherine Ann Finneran. Constance Ann Fumara. Erica Lynn Fleck. Brian D. Flynn. Cinzia Fedora. Michael T. Foley. Craig C. Forcina. Catherine Hale Ford. Jeffrey Tate Foster. Gregory John Fougere. Catherine Elizabeth Fuller. Christopher Charles Galuso. Erica B. Gannon. Amy Kathleen Garrity. Heather Lynn Germain. Brian Anthony Gianci. Joseph Mortimer Gordon. Elizabeth Ann Hastings. Stacy Allison Hennessy. Kristen E. Herlihy. Allison G. Hofnagel. Elizabeth Hamilton Holt. Leroy Dan Hoskins. Luke D. Hurley. Tamara Michelle Jeffrey. Christopher Charles Jervey. Heather Frances Johansson. Douglas James Jordan. Albert Leo Keenan. Mary Margaret Keith. Elizabeth F. Kennerson. Karen Ann Keneally. Daniel Hayes Kennedy. Michelle Renee Kenny. Lida Kaliki. Kristen Kidder. Heather Mary Killian. Stephen Joseph Krajewski. Kimberly Ann Landini. Linda Marie Lee. William H. Lee.
Wesley During Leonard. Emily Sunter Lewis. Kevin James Lynn. Sonia Patrice Lizotte. Kevin M. Lonergan. James Joseph Mabardi. Michael Edward Mackenzie. Heather Ann Manpa. Courtney Catherine Manning. Michael Jason Marnell. Jennifer McCart. Sheila Ellen McCarthy. Mark McCall. Keith W. McClern. Michael T. McDonough. Megan Clancy McKenna. Lorette McWilliams. Robert Charles Meehan. Susan Elizabeth Meserve. John Michael Myra. Thomas Patrick Moore. Michael Robert Morrison. Stephen Richard Mueller. Patrick John Mulvaney. Stephen Lawrence Munini. Jennifer Mary Murphy. Mary Catherine Murray. Kenneth Allen Mira. Daryl Stephen Nash. Brian Christopher Newburn. Nazanda A. Oakley. Edward Michael O'Brien. Mary Beth O'Brien. Robert Frank O'Brien. Elizabeth Rose O'Connell. Holly Ann O'Connor. Sarah Marianne O'Connor. Carrie Ann Oliver. Erin Marie O'Neill. Rudy Ollie Ott. Michelle Ann Pacheco. Rosa Liliana Palacios. Kathy Papalimberis. The next degree will be presented by Connie Pappas. Dean John Pappas. Alan Carlisle Park. Deborah Elaine Parsons. Courtney Jane Perkins. Keely Michelle Petrie. Amy Catherine Poftak. William A. Porter. Christian Seamus Powers. Kevin Christopher Queenan. Jonathan Eugene Rasick. Michael Paul Rossio. Todd Stephen Rautenberg. Jeremy F. Reardon. Richard H. Regan. Christopher J. Rude. Joseph Rutolo. Jeff P. Russo. Thomas John Russo. Anthony Brian Sarton. Satoshi Sato. Takesh Sato. Nadia Nicole Sivani. Christopher N. Scarfo. Kristen Haley Scott. Thomas W. Shattuck. April Tara Shaw. Charles Shea. Leanne Isabel Siebert. Jill Ann Slater. Monica Ann Slater. Scott David Slater. Ryan Douglas Smith. Stacy June Smith. Melissa Howland Susie. Frederick Spaniard. Cynthia Jane Stackpole. Jan T. Stepanek. Pamela May Taylor. Eleni Terzakis. Brian K. Thompson. Michelle Ty. Christina Lynn Van Aken. Michael William Vandervan. Wayne L. Vaders, Jr. Joseph Stephen Vozella. Matthew Stephen Ward. David Westner. Mark E. Whalen. Nicole E. Wynn. Christina Zervaglis. Min Zhang. And this concludes the graduation exercises for today.
Congratulations, good luck, see you tonight. Take care.